I've not used this before, so I'm just trying it out.
Hey man, it's been too long since we sat down and that just feels wrong. Allow me to give my head a shake, open my eyes and fix a mistake. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit a rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Hey buddy, no strangers here. These times I hold them dear. My door's open, so come on in. This was great, let's do it again. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. Wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly.
Yo, we're back to STS. We used to say the full name, but it started to get us in trouble. And we've got a special guest today, Gaz. We're talking Transformers with Heroic Nonsense, a.k.a. Ari. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
We're a big fan. First of all, before we get into the show, I want to apologize for last week. We sold out last episode. We were huge sellouts. We changed our names. We were wearing the shades. Exactly, Gaz. After the fact, we were like, no, that's not who we are. We're not sellouts. We don't do product placements. That's not our thing. So we're not going to get into any of that. I am going to just quickly enjoy a little sip of this bubbly goodness.
I was going to put my sunglasses on. I didn't want to be left out, but...
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, we're not all about product placement here or the cool, refreshing drink of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Not a sponsor. Say hi to the chat real quick. And then we'll get into the show. Spoon Killer was here saying, good evening from California. California. I don't know if you're anywhere near where the storms are, but to everyone that is affected by the storms over there, hurricanes, we feel for you guys. Stephen Hall saying hello all. I like that he rhymes his stuff, you know?
Yeah.
The Retro Tinker saying, g'day everyone.
Me?
Phil, Treasures for Trigger, saying good morning. And that might be everyone we have in that. No, we got one more. Ready Trick Shot. G'day, legends. I certainly do want to come over. All right. It's a great intro. I saw someone up here. I think it was Spoonkiller mentioned that it was a good intro too. The intro is so good. Speaking of so good, it is so good. Speaking of so good, if you want to check out a channel that is so good, the link in the description right now is for Heroic Nonsense. Not only do they do Transformers, which is obvious given the name, but G.I. Joe is in there too. So, dude, please.
Check it out one time, won't you?
And I know that if you check it out once, you'll check it out twice, and you'll continue to check it out. It's a great show. And I was lucky enough to be a guest on one of your videos for Sergeant Slaughter. It was the Marauder Sarge. Gaz got me the Marauder Sarge as a gift. He's going to give it to me at RonCon next year. But I got to talk a little bit about the original O-Ring Sergeant Slaughter, and that was fun. It was a great bit of fun. So I appreciate you asking me to come on and do that. But Heroic Nonsense, why don't you tell us, Ari, a little bit about your channel and your interests and what people can expect over your end?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's funny. It's a year ago, pretty much today, that I started the channel. So
Happy
I'm
anniversary.
glad to share it with you guys. This anniversary.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, you know what? I've been a collector since I was a kid. I didn't know I was a collector when I was a kid, but I guess I grew into it. But you know, my parents, you know, they were great. They got me all the Transformers and G.I. Joe, and like I almost remember every single one I got. I remember my first one. I did a show on it recently on Trailbreaker from Transformers, and just such good memories. And then I kind of got out of it for a bit when I got a little older, and then Masterpiece came out. Masterpiece Transformers, and I got back into it. And so I started buying the adult versions, and I had all my parents were great. They kept all my old ones, all my old G.I. Joe, my old Transformers, my old Hot Wheels. I have everything. Honestly, I have everything. And so I got into Masterpiece, and then my wife and I, she's amazing too. She totally supports me in my chaos.
Right.
She's the one with my boys who got me this display and the one in another room. So I've expanded beyond this room. But yeah, so once I found out I was going to be having my first child, who was a boy, I ended up I just started getting back into it, and this new line of Transformers came out. It was perfect. It was all the G1 guys that I updated. And so slowly got into it. My second son was born, and we just started collecting together. I was buying stuff for them. They started liking certain things, and it's grown. We just have such a huge collection now. My G1 from the 80s, my G.I. Joe from the 80s, all our Hot Wheels, and now they're collecting Hot Wheels. They're collecting the G.I. Joes with me, the Transformers. And so I was like, you know what? I have all this stuff. Why not make a YouTube channel about it? And so that's the shorthand history of how Heroic Nonsense came to life.
Well, we're glad that you did. I mentioned before we went live, but it is 100% true, is that I love this style. I'm really digging the style of your videos. I like the filters that you use for it. And I particularly enjoy that you recreate scenes from the cartoon or comic and ask the people watching the video, can you guess which scenes these are? It's a great interaction as well. Oh, Pericles is here. Oh, I'm not too late. We only just started, my friend. You're not too late. Pericles shows up exactly when he's meant to, whatever the line is. Anyway, so you kept some of your original toys thanks to the parents, which is great. I think I have 0 of my original stuff. Do you remember the first Transformer or G.I. Joe that you picked up?
Yeah, 100%. So it was G1 Trailbreaker. I remember that for sure. It's funny, I remember a few very well. There's Trailbreaker, I remember. That was my first one my parents got me. I remember it was in the States, actually, because we have a place in the States.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's where I got that one. And then I remember my Optimus Prime was a big one. And coming up. And I distinctly remember as a kid begging my father at the table, please, can I, if you have it, can I open it before the holiday? And I remember even pretending to transform as a kid, like the way Optimus Prime does. And I think my father, just caved in eventually. He wanted to give it to me so badly, same with my mom. So they gave it to me a little bit earlier. And I totally remember getting that one. G.I. Joe, I remember the Stun, Cobra Stun.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, I remember. And I was like, it was funny because I was shifting a little bit out of Transformers into G.I. Joe, right? As I got that Stun. And I was like, oh, the Motor Vipers, they kind of look like robots because they have the masks. I was like, maybe I can get Transformers and G.I. Joe. And then I ended up just going into G.I. Joe at that point. And then I just went all in, kind of let the Transformers go a bit. Because actually, I think around then they were getting a little more plasticky. They weren't levels.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So then I totally got into G.I. Joe, and then I came back full circle, and now I do craziness with all the stuff behind me and all the classified and pretty much anything I can get my hands on.
Well, one of the impressive collection behind you. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to display right now while I'm away. I'm hoping to show off some of my display at a later date. But I don't have nearly as many Transformers as you. But I always wanted, because I did the same thing. I was like, how do I incorporate G.I. Joe and Transformers together. There was a comic book at the time too, trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Spider-Man showed up in the Transformers comic, so I was like, how do I incorporate my superheroes in here as well? In the end, I was just throwing everything together. It didn't matter. I had He-Man and Care Bears together. It was no big deal for me. Poor Ronnie had no Transformers. Oh, I feel for you, buddy. And you bring up a good point here, Nate. So he says he's opening up his crossover Bumblebee Striker, which is a great segue. We've talked about the G.I. Joe Transformers crossovers before here on the show. We're going to do it again because I just love it so much. We're going to do it again. And I brought some slides this time. So we are living in an age now where a lot of our toys and stuff that we used to have back in the day are now starting to cross over. He-Man and Ninja Turtles, WWE and He-Man, Transformers, the Triple T turns into Cup, which was one of my favorites, although I do prefer the G1 bots, and although technically Cup is G1 too, right? Oh, it looks so good. Wait,
What, do you have two of them, or is the other one the original?
This is the original.
Right.
all right, I'm going to solo you for a second, Gaz.
The original.
Whoop.
It's like
Yeah.
That's the transformation I've ever seen.
yeah.
That was brilliant. Hey, what's the Sarge like side by side?
Here's Sarge, the new Sarge.
Oh, he looks good.
Ooh.
Really good.
And I just fixed this one's O-ring. He was a little broken. And let me pulls him up real quick. Bring his arms down. Ooh. Looks good. Feels all right too.
Yeah, it does look good.
Really
You
good.
know what I
Mustache is
like
a little
about-
bit thicker. He's like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Who are you? Hey,
Nothing wrong
This is
with
an outrage.
toys like that and talking to each other. It's fine.
Oh
they
yeah,
look good.
so-
They look good.
I like
It
that
feels-
he's
it feels good too.
the cartoon inspired Sarge. I like that he's different to the
Yeah.
Triple T one.
Ooh.
I can't wait to get my hands on mine. Ooh, any excuse to play with toys.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I've already started to introduce the Transformers into the slaughterhouse.
Ooh, leather knife.
Oh yeah.
he looks good too. And a nice tempo on his arm.
How's the
You can see
plastic on the GI Joes?
It feels all right. I mean, it's not going to be exactly the same, but it doesn't feel cheap at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I know the gun. I heard somebody say it's kind of rubbery, but mine's pretty stiff. It's not rubbery. I mean, it has a little play to it,
Right.
but it's not like rubbery. It's it feels like plastic. It's nice. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
good.
good.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he looks
It
good.
does look good.
It does.
I like that they've updated his look a little bit too, so it's like exactly like the old ones.
Yeah,
I feel like
it doesn't have the little triangles on his legs. You know what I mean?
right, yeah.
Not that you can see it because it's dark in here, but yeah, it does look really good. I like it. I like it a lot. It's pretty good.
Do you have the other
All
one?
right, so let's get it.
I do. I can grab them. Let me go grab them. Hold on. I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
yeah.
Talks amongst yourselves.
Oh, thanks, Gaz. I like it when he gives me permission to do things. While he's going to go with that, I'll show this image that I found on Facebook. The name, the artist, I think, says Don on there.
Yeah.
I don't know them personally, but I love this idea. It's grabbing the original toys design and mixing him in with that epic scene in Transformers the movie where
Yeah, when you said
Mega-
that to me, I was like, how come no one did this before? Like, it's so obvious, right? Like the original
right.
Ironhide with that ridiculous stick-on head, right? And then, and then like him being destroyed on the Ark, and then underneath is the original, Ironhide.
Oh, I love the idea is that they blew off his head, but guess what? That was just just an add-on.
head.
His real head's in the chest,
That's
and I think it looks pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe he's a headmaster. But when I saw your channel name Heroic Nonsense, it obviously harkens back in the images on the thing here of Megatron pointing his cannon right at Ironhide and blowing him to bits. I used to think that hole in the shuttle that they were talking about, Hot Rod and who's that kid's name again? Daniel. I just think, oh, there's a hole in the shuttle. I thought they were talking about the hole that he blasted through, but obviously it's the one that they create as they're entering the shuttle. I love Transformers movies. Such a
I
great
love that.
soundtrack.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite scenes ever.
Yes.
With that song,
So
Instruments of Destruction.
yes,
Oh, it's so perfect.
it's so good. Is that the one that's by Kick-Axe?
Yeah, you know what? I never figured out who the bands were because I know there were like different bands playing some of the different songs on that soundtrack.
So I think Kick-Axe had to change their name to Spectre General because they couldn't use Kick-Axe. It sounded too much like Kick-Ass.
Right.
For a kids cartoon. For some reason, even though they say the word shit in the show, and damn, you can't say damn on TV. Apparently, back in those days. But yeah, that scene perfectly done. And while I was sad to lose some of my favorite Autobots, they went out pretty cool. Particularly Prowl, I found that his death, and I mentioned this before in the show, that it's a very visceral and frightening way to go out, like melting from the inside out and spewing all of that smoke. But it is a heroic way to go out, even if it is heroic nonsense. All right, Gaz, sorry, you got some props. You want to show us your props?
Yeah. So here is Leatherneck new.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some brownish camouflage.
Oh, hang on, let me solo you. So
and here is Leatherneck old, a little more green.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, looks pretty good though.
Is he a little bigger? No,
He also has a thick
size, eh?
No, about the same size.
Oh, okay.
Same size.
mustache is
It's bigger
thicker.
with my hands. Yeah, the mustache is thicker. Yeah, there you go. Ooh. Hey, who's that good-looking guy? Hey.
So
Looks pretty
Leatherneck was one of the first GI Joes I remember getting. Leatherneck, Chuckles. I'm sure I had some of the Joes from earlier years, but I just can't remember getting those ones. But I do remember getting Chuckles, and I do remember getting Leatherneck. Being so enamored by Leatherneck, he was great in the cartoon. Unfortunately, the only mustachioed Marine I was able to get in my collection, even though I was a Sarge fan, the only Sarge I had in my collection was the mini one. And I can't remember who I got the mini Sarge with. Maybe a bat. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But
Yeah, there was
here we go.
Were you about to say the Gung Ho Marine in his dress blues, right?
Oh yeah.
There was that one, right?
Yes. So no, that was so Gung Ho had so the original release. Then it was the dress blues, which looked great, but I didn't have any of the Gung Hos, unfortunately. But
I never had that. Never had that gung ho. I only have the
I had
first
that
one.
one. He wasn't very good at fighting, but he looked cool.
Yeah. Well, he had a sword. But I think I had the Gung Ho with the USA flag though. That was after, I think it was that version 3 maybe.
Right.
Maybe 4. Either way. Leatherneck was my first Marine. Actually, I think we also had Mainframe. I think Mainframe was also a Marine.
Yeah, Mainframe was.
But he doesn't have a mustache. Doesn't have a mustache though, so it doesn't count. Anyway, if you're tuning in, don't forget to hit that like button. In the description is the link to Heroic Nonsense. Do click that and hit subscribe. Do it now. It's okay. We'll wait.
Yeah,
We'll be right here when you come back.
Now you say that mustache. I think maybe they should have gave Cup a mustache because Sergeant Leatherneck have a mustache. I think Cup should have had one. I think he's in the field left out.
Well, what I like,
long ones like Scourge had, right? And like
yeah, yes, such mustacheless nonsense. So, Scourge having a mustache and little goatee thing is so weird, isn't it? It's so crazy. I guess Alpha Trion also had facial hair.
No. What's weird is it Hound? Is it Hound in the movie?
Oh, in the
voiced by John Goodman? Yeah, that thing. That thing was weird.
Like it looked like kind of like cylinders, but they were like chewing on them. I don't remember.
It's like that's
what would
weird.
be the purpose of that?
Exactly. Didn't Jetfire had one too, right? in the second.
Oh, the old one. Yeah.
The second one. I think he had one too, right? Because he's old, so they grow like these mechanical beards.
I remember when the movie came out, the '86 movie, and you're right. It's kind of like out of nowhere, they suddenly all had like
Facial.
new types of facial features, right? Like Cyclonus had the horn thing, and then all these guys suddenly had like long beards and goatees and mustaches and all these weird things that like it seemed like it came out of nowhere. But Alpha Trion did. I watched the old cartoons, and they started throwing that in little by little into the old cartoons before the movie came out, I think. So
what do you think? What do you think? What do you think Optimus has under his faceplate? Think he's rocking a goatee?
For sure. Nowadays, for sure.
Yeah. He's got an evil Spock version of the goatee. That's why he hides it. I thought it was weird when they had the faceplate be removable for the movies, because I feel like the mouth is too low on the face. Like it's so weird. There you go. Transformers hit puberty at around 500 years old. That makes sense.
That's why.
That
the 84 cartoon was like 498 years old, right? And then they just hit finally at
right.
And that's for the movie.
Oh no. It's got to be later than that. They were on Earth for like a million years, right? Because they crashed in the
but they were in stasis sleep, whatever.
Right, yeah.
I want to see Shockwave with one monobrow. He just lets it grow. All right. So speaking of Transformers and GI Joe, I sort of put out my feelers to find out who everyone's favorite Transformer was. Gaz, I already know who yours was, so I didn't ask, but I know who it is. Heroic Nonsense, you gave me a few options, so I think one you'll be happy with. I only picked one of each for each of us. I think you'll be happy with this next slide, though. So the next Transformer GI Joe crossover is rumored to be Optimus Prime that turns into a Mobat, coming with Hawk. Now, I don't know whether Hawk is going to be the original Blonde Hawk or General Hawk. Personally, I think an updated original Hawk would be pretty cool, but I think I'm a bigger fan of the look of the General Hawk look with the bomber jacket and the helmet. Yeah. Having said that, a better look for this, I agree. But I didn't realize until I was a bit more of an adult collector that Hawk version 2 doesn't actually say General Hawk on the card. It just says Hawk. And I was like, I could have sworn it said General Hawk on the card, but that's not until later when he gets like his jetpacks and stuff. But I still call that version General Hawk. So we're looking like we're going to get a Prime Mobat. Now, they don't change the color, and I like this idea, mind you, and I'll tell you why. Because it'd be weird if we just sat in silence. The tank will still come in green. It won't be colored like Prime, which is good, because they're Transformers. They can be whatever color they like, right? They're robots in disguise. He doesn't have to be a trunk. Remember when it was truck, not monkey? When Beast Wars came out, everyone was like, truck, not monkey. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent here. I was up past midnight yesterday doing it. So the tank will still look green, but I'm sure once he transforms, you'll see the reds and the blues in there probably, which is okay because the American flag is red, white, and blue. And what color is Optimus Prime if not red, white, and blue? So I'm sure they'll make it work.
It's kind of like the Megatron, but I guess more, right? Because the colors are so different. But yeah, Megatron was, right? The hiss is all black on the outside, but when he transforms, he's got most of the kind of grayish look that he's known for. Yeah, I can see it. I can see them doing a good job on this. Obviously, there's going to be parts that are going to be sticking out that are going to be brown, right?
Right, yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But it would be cool to see a red and blue tank.
It would.
That would be cool.
For me, I mean, all you really need is the head, right? Because I mean, how are you going to explain this? How are you going to explain the smokestacks in the front end of a Mac? That's all I'm going to say. I was like, it's a Freightliner.
Hey, Rolando.
But no, I like it. I think all you really need is the head, though. The head and the gun.
Right. So you won't have the smokestacks, I don't think. But it would be interesting if instead of the smokestacks, you've got the cannon on one side, which is probably going to be his gun, and the other little machine gun thingy up on this side.
Mm.
But it's not necessary. My question will be, when he transforms into robot mode, will he have the chest piece that looks like Prime, like a truck, sort of faux truck look?
I assume it will.
What do we think?
I think so.
I hope that it doesn't. I think
actually, now that I'm thinking about it, sorry to cut you off, Cecil. I think what they'll
That's
do
all
is the front end of the tank, right?
Mm.
I don't know if the Mobat actually has it, but you know, most tanks have like these older tanks have
Yeah.
like the where the like the Mauler has the 2 seats, right? With the
Yeah.
That
The
could
slit
be
windows?
Yeah, the slit windows, and it will fold down, and those parts would be imitating the chest of Prime, I guess.
So Pericles is trying to work out in their head how the Mobot Optimus will look in robot form. Yeah, like that. Me too. The prime mover front will fold away under the tank, which is a bit of a shame. So I'm going to put I almost said Heracles. Heroic nonsense in the center so we don't cover him up. I'll put me at the bottom because I've got to put handsome man Gazz at the... There we are. That's better.
Stay on top. You're a lot better looking than I am.
Let's not make this weird. So the images I got from 3D Joe's, do check out 3D Joe's too. So I hope that they don't have a faux truck front piece, but it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird if they do. But Soundwave, even though he wasn't a cassette deck, he still had a cassette deck front. Bumblebee, they had some artistic license with. Megatron looked like the G1 cartoon, but that's easy to do. My other question will be, and then I'll throw it to you guys. My other question will be, will his what's his gun called? It's not the ion cannon is Megatron, and his is the wait, is it? No, fusion cannon. The fusion cannon is Megatron. The ion blaster is Optimus Prime. Will his blaster be part of the front cannon?
I bet
his traditional look.
Oh, it's a good call. I think they're going to try to incorporate as much of the iconic parts of Optimus as they can, to be honest. But you know what? At the same time, when it comes to the vehicles, they've gone more towards the G.I. Joe kind of side of things. So they try to make the vehicles as G.I. Joe realistic as possible, right? And then they play around with the robot side. So will they try to keep the cannon as close to the tank as possible and then make it somehow kind of be incorporated into his laser? I think they will probably combine the two, but I don't know which one's going to stand out more, right? Because they always tend to go towards the G.I. Joe vehicle in terms of...
Well, if you look at the Mobat cannon itself, you know, it's got the barrel, then it's got that thicker part that goes into the turret, right? If you look at the tip of
hey, Woodman
blaster, you have that you have where the handle is and stuff, and then it kind of goes small and it opens up, and then the cannon comes out of that. So that portion right there could be the actual cannon, and it might extend, like the tip, the nozzle would extend out a little bit from the gun, and then it would just fit. You could just fit it into the turret. I don't know how it would work, but that might be the way it goes.
So here's a
lucky we don't have to. Yeah, go for it.
What do you think the fandom is going to prefer with the chest? Do you think they're going to want to see the Optimus chest, even though it's not realistic to the tank and there's no real way to incorporate it other than just to hide it and pop out and transforms? Or do you think they're going to go with what you want, Xaz?
So the fandom don't know what they want. People are going to argue either side of it. I think personally, Gazz's idea of having that front section fold in to be the chest, I think is going to be the most appropriate way to use it. But I think they still need to touch on some of the original colors. I think the cup, I haven't got the cup in hand, but I like that they've sort of leaned into more of the Triple T colors as opposed to the cup colors.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks good. He's got some cup colors, but they also, when he's in Triple T mode, they keep the Autobot symbol prominent, which I think is the first time that they've done that. Bumblebee's was hidden in the back. The Decepticon symbols, I think, are hidden when they're in the tank mode. Oh, sorry, hiss mode. Sorry, hiss, not his tank. Hiss mode, and what's the other one? The Dreadnought vehicle, Thunder Machine. I haven't got that one in hand either. I'll have that one in hand in a week when I go back and grab it. I think if they have something that looks similar enough, like maybe have the chest part, but like where the abs are. Not that I know what abs are, but I don't think I ever had abs. But that grill piece, I think, if you could probably redo that and have that aesthetic, whatever.
I think they could come up with some sort of like text like design on the maybe it's the underside, and it kind of it kind of simulates that. You know what I mean, you can do that. I don't know if you're going to get that nice figure that Optimus has. You know the
right.
Oh yeah. You know, he's going to have some kibble.
The chisel lip. He's going to be a little thick. Yeah.
Yeah. What they are and where they are. Apparently they're in there somewhere, Phil. I'll find them one day. So,
sorry.
So, Ari, what would you prefer? Being that Prime is one of your favorites.
I mean, like, I'm sure they could come up with a story to make it work, that when he's transformed into his robot alt mode, that he keeps the kind of truck aesthetic, right? Like, I'm sure they can come up with some whole story where, you know, like they combine Optimus as a truck with G.I. Joe, and, you know, if you made like a kind of background story. I mean, I kind of would like to see it like this, so where he's mostly red in his original form, but I would be fine if they like really just made him all out tank looking, right? Like,
yeah.
For me. But I prefer to see him, I think, in this mode as much as they could. But can they pull that off? I don't know.
How cool would it just been if they just did a flat faced Freightliner truck for G.I. Joe in there? That'd have been cool. Instead of,
I guess they could have
episode that you love, I'm sure, with Arise Serpento Arise, where the Cobra guys came out with school buses, so they could.
Yeah.
I mean, there was. I think in Revenge of Cobra, the second miniseries, there was an Optimus Prime look truck that was pulling their main laser cannon to the base.
Yeah, it's true.
That could have been Prime right there.
They probably could have saved themselves a lot of hassle if they just made it the APC, and then you could have kept the front of the truck and have it to be the APC's front, which is got the window in the front there. But will he come with a Matrix is another question, because that seems to be the standard these days. Is Prime's got to come with the Matrix and maybe an Energon axe.
I think coming with the Matrix is a little. I don't think it's as important for this crossover design as everybody wants it to be. I think people just want it because it comes with like the latest ones.
I'm sure they'll throw the Matrix, though. I feel like I have matrices, I guess would be the right. Falling out of like every part of my house. Like they just come with everything.
Yeah, you have enough.
I have every you can think of.
Here's another one. Most of these are coming with 2 figures now, and the rumored one is Hawk. So who do you think, if they add a second figure, who the second figure would be?
Well, I mean, the Mobat only has room for 1 figure, and that's one guy up in the turret, right? So, I mean, I don't know where you'd be able to put a second figure on this, because there's no feels. But if they were, I don't know, be Hawk.
Would they go Duke, you think?
No, because I think if they release Duke in one of those, Well, I mean, Steel is the driver, so that would be a natural choice, right?
So the thing about this Transformers Mobat is that they can, if they want to design it that way, have it so that people can sit in the front tank section, like you were mentioning, and have the. I don't know the Mobat in and out. And I can't tell from this image whether or not it does have those front window things, but they can definitely throw it in there. You know what? I'm going to Google it.
You know,
I got one.
He's got one. He's got one. Okay, good.
You know, while he's getting it, I bet, you know, the turret part of the tank, you see the way it's kind of smooth smooth and almost looks like a window. I could see that becoming part of Optimus.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right? Almost like not real windows, but they kind of have a shape, like 2 squares of those.
Yes.
It actually,
Yeah.
it actually does not have the little windows. I mean, the little seating areas in the front, which is kind of odd, right?
Well, I don't know if it's odd or not.
There
It's probably. All right, let me go solo you.
Right there, see nothing, nada.
Yeah.
Nada.
But obviously that tank had a whole crew. It wasn't just one person.
Well, I mean, the only other hatch I see in this, actually, there's 2. There's 2 hatches, and they're on the turret.
Oh, they are. Give us a closer look then.
Yeah, but they're very small.
I never had that one.
You see them? Well, I don't know if you see them. They're like there's one right there, and then there's one in the back right there.
Perfect. So there's options. So there you go. Whole new mold. Might as well add real driver position. Might interfere with the transformation. That's all right. Someone will figure it out. Someone smarter than me will figure that out. Bazooka as a second choice would be good too. So yeah, I mean they don't.
Yeah.
We know from the Soundwave one that they don't have to pick the usual driver for it. So I think Sarge and the Triple T is probably the first time that they've actually put the appropriate driver with the vehicle. I liked that they added Baroness to the his because I didn't have a Baroness. I was like, perfect. Phil coming in with the Dinobot, G.I. Joe Dino Riders, sold. All right, let's get into the rest of the slides then. So this we know is coming down the line, which I knew that you would enjoy being a Prime fan. I think we're all Prime fans, so this is great. This is fine.
It's all right.
He doesn't have to be a truck. It's robots in disguise. They can be whatever they like.
Right.
So I've gone with Ari. You said not only Prime, but the Seekers, like Starscream, was another personal favorite of yours. So let's discuss who they would turn Starscream, or what they would turn Starscream into as an alt form for G.I. Joe.
I mean, I would go. I think the obvious choice is the Rattler.
Mm-hmm.
That's especially with the classified HasLab one coming out. Like that seems to be most people's favorite.
They've already started to figure out how to sculpt it. They're like, they might as well do it again.
Right. Exactly. I mean, they'd have to play around a bit with it because the Rattler is not an F-15. So I mean, they have to try to get those wings to look good, and then have those 2 thrusters, I guess, or air intakes on the side. Otherwise, they could do it fairly easily. But what I would like to see, I mean, I love the Rattler, so Rattler for sure. If they go with that, I'd be happy. And it would be cool if they went, instead of Starscream, they went like Thundercracker or something like that.
All right.
Yeah. But I think, what's it called? The Night Raven would be a cool one. But that'd be too big, I think.
Same Time Toys is here. How are you, buddy? I said it right this time. Make Starscream the Night Raven. You got another Night Raven fan here with a female Strato Viper like in the cartoon. True. And Lilith is here with a universal greeting.
So my choice for Starscream and even the other 2 Seekers would be, I think, I mean, Night Raven is a good choice. It's a bit big though, right? Because if you're gonna make it as a Transformer, it's pretty big. So you could probably do like a 2-for-1. It could be like Starscream and Skywarp together, and he combined to transform it, right? Maybe. But here's my choice: the Cobra Hurricane.
Ooh, okay, hang on. I'm gonna solo you.
Right. This would be my choice if I was gonna, for Starscream, all 3 of them. It makes sense.
I like it, but
you do have the jet intakes on there. They're on the back wings. So
it wasn't too big, so it would fit. Yeah, I mean, it was not much bigger than a regular vehicle, right? Like it wasn't.
Right. Yeah. It's decent size, so it's. I think it might be a bit smaller than the Conquest, which a Conquest is a perfect size.
Conquest would have been an awesome one.
Yeah, that as well.
A Python Patrol Conquest.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
but that'd be good for Cyclonus.
Exactly. I think Cyclonus would be better suited for the Night Raven and have his armada be on the back of him, or Scourge if you really wanted to, as a 2-for-1 deal, like you said, Gazatron. Whatever they do choose to do with the Seekers, they can just keep bringing it out.
Yeah.
Just different.
Change
Yeah,
the
when
color.
did that happen?
When did that happen? I became a transformer.
Well, you'd only need to change the color of the robot portions of it and keep the Cobra vehicle the right color. So so with these slides, I've picked what I think they would do. Whether it's the right choice or not, I don't know. I'm not part of those meetings that Hasbro has, but I think personally, and we touched on it before, that it would be the Rattler. So I think it's got enough structure to the body that it could turn into Starscream or whoever. I think there's just enough there to make it happen. More so than the one you showed, Gaz, which I don't think quite has enough plastic to it. We also have an option to have 2 characters to come with the Rattler, hopefully Wild Weasel being one of them. Up to you guys who you think the second character would be. Let's discuss that. Who do you think they would throw in as a second?
I think it'd just be a no-named Cobra. It's a gunner. Doesn't have to be a name guy, right? Or maybe Scrap Iron in the turret.
So the Rattler is thin, but I wonder if there would be enough there to unfold and unfurl and sort of make it happen. But sorry, guys, who were you saying?
I was gonna say either a no-name Cobra, like just a soldier, or Scrap Iron. But I think Scrap Iron's cool enough to have his own own Decepticon buddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They haven't done Destro yet, right?
No, that'd be
no.
Destro could be one, or it'd be really cool if they didn't go like you said, like if they don't go with the driver, like they haven't done for most of them. You get the Crimson Twins. That'd be cool.
That's a good choice.
That would be cool. So the logistics of it, I don't know, but like how they would manage it. Obviously, it looks a little bit more bulkier in the box than it does as the toy.
I'm glad that nobody has even said the Sky Striker.
No. So because the Sky Striker, it would be. I would think the Sky Striker would be Jetfire personally.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah.
So as the second pilot in this, I would love to see them do an O-ring style Dr. Arkeville. That would be cool.
Who?
It's never really done, right? Like I don't think.
I've never seen an action figure of Dr. Arkeville. Check it. Google Dr. Arkeville from Transformers, Gaz.
I will do that right now.
Thanks. It might make sense. It's kind of like an evil version of Doc Brown, but some people think Doc Brown's pretty evil anyway. But I mean, come on, teaming up with the Libyans. The Libyans?
Are you serious? This guy?
Right,
Come on.
This
guy. This is the guy that you want with the Rattler. This guy.
Yep.
This guy should have came with Soundwave.
He had a lot of stuff with Starscream, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
What a
he teamed up a lot with Starscream.
Yeah.
It's Dark Brown, all like tinkered out, man. Look at him. He's like on full nutto.
Well, he gets roboted up as well, so he gets upgrades. Well, he gets messed up and then has to get upgraded.
Yeah, there was an image of him like with cyborg body parts.
Yeah. So if they throw in Dr. Arkeville, have Ronnie's out of here. All good, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. He says great show, but go on.
No, I was gonna say whatever they do, they better stick that Cobra Flight insignia on whatever
yes
is gonna be.
Yeah, I agree.
They have that new symbol that they have on all the classified that I love, which I'd love to see on some of these older vehicles. The what is it? The Fidelis one.
Oh yeah.
Semper Fidelis Serpens, I think. Is that what it is?
Oh, the Cobra symbol.
The new ones that they put on. I don't think they put it on the new HasLab Hiss. I think they started putting it on the HMS. They had it, and then I think they even had it on the Ferret. It's It's on my. It's actually on some of my reviews of these toys. But if you can pull it up, I don't know. It's a very cool new style of Cobra symbol. But I agree.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
gonna go with any symbol, yeah, at least do the ones from the Cobra Rattler.
I do like that the Transformer ones are like they're not stickers; they're just printed on it. I hate doing stickers; I'm so bad at them. But the options of other stickers would be cool too. So like a rub sticker that would reveal a Cobra logo with a scratch across it would be cool for Skyfire or Jetfire, however you want to do it. But yeah, your G.I. Joe reviews are also a personal favorite of mine. I'm trying to remember if I saw a Transformer review or a Transformer review from your channel first, but either way, they're very entertaining. If you're just tuning in now, the link is in the description for Heroic Nonsense. Hit that subscribe button on his channel. Do it now. Don't wait. We're not going anywhere just yet. But so
I'm looking at the hiss. I don't not the hiss, the SMS. Are you talking about like that little Cobra snake insignia that's on the?
Yeah, they have it, and they have. I think they have two different ones. They have a few that I've seen. I can go.
I only seen this one right here. This one. Because the other Cobra symbol on there is where it says Cobra right there.
Yeah, that's the.
That's like the one that's on the moray. Yeah. Because otherwise, it's just a Cobra symbol on that.
Yeah, let me grab my let me grab one and I'll see.
Yep.
I guess I could also do a Conehead version.
Well, I mean, the only thing the only issue with like if I don't know if it's got enough width to do the Seekers though. I mean, you have to maybe because if you fold the wings, it's going to look like what's his name? The
Power Glide.
Yeah, it's going to look like a Power Glide.
Well, like I said, I'm not the smart guy from Hasbro trying to figure this stuff out. I'm just picking toys. All right, let me solo you, so you can have a symbol.
I have the ferret upstairs, but it's hard to see on this one. But it's this one here.
All right.
Yeah.
It's too hard to see.
I know which symbol you're talking about, though.
And it says Semper Fidelis.
All right. Yeah, that would be kind of cool to have that on there too, like the airwing. So I bought some decals from Toy Hacks for my Conquest Python Patrol, and it came with like these cool like shield, like Cobra shields, like the air wing shields or something like that. They were neat looking. So I was like, those are pretty cool. Just like a regular shield with like a cross through it and has like a Cobra logo on it. It's pretty cool.
They have great Cobra symbols.
Yeah,
I love all the Cobra symbols.
But
I even like the one they use for Action Force too. I thought that one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which one is the Action Force one?
Let me bring it up for you. Let me do it.
episode.
we always just do it by Google. Action Force Cobra.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my Google game up a little bit for next time.
We only do this because we're super. This is the most slides I've really done. You know.
Yeah.
Trying to impress. Trying to do the
so
thing.
We were doing one of like our 5-man. What was that? 6-man squad Cobra squad. So I had a slide for each figure. This guy just comes up with this like combined picture of all the ones that he picked. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
That's like they would have that up at like the Cobra Temple and it'd be up in lights like it's in Vegas.
Yeah.
Cobra.
Come and check out Cobra. So that's my guess. I mean, yes, okay. Logistically, probably won't be enough plastic unless they like unfold into it like panels and you unfold and twisting panels around. Like, it might be a bit too tricky.
You imagine if they did a Starscream is the Rattler and they make Skywarp and Thundercracker? They make them fangs. They do fangs.
I thought about the fangs. I thought about Trouble Bubbles. Trouble Bubble could definitely not be anything. Maybe it could be Rumble or Frenzy, but it definitely couldn't get a good bot out of a Trouble Bubble.
You know, which is a cool one
Alright.
to do also, but they would. I don't think they would use it for these guys, and it'll probably never happen. But the Cobra Mamba, remember that helicopter?
Yeah,
Oh, that
yeah,
was a
yeah,
great
yeah.
helicopter.
That'd be a cool one.
That
And
would
they
be
could do a whole
cool.
bunch of stuff with the two little flight pods that pop out of it also, and have those transform.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be
Oh.
like that camera guy. What's his name?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
reflector.
Oh, reflector. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like the
I
camera
just
guy.
want them to continue. I just want them to continue doing it. Wilhelm, Toy and Hobbies here. How are you, buddy?
Hey. Yeah, I would be disappointed if they stopped now or after the next one because I always hated starting a collection and then it doesn't continue.
Well,
Yeah.
these seem to be pretty popular right now. I mean, and the quality to me seems to be getting better because the only other one that I have other than Cup is the Bumble Striker, and
Yeah.
this feels a lot better than that does, like in this bot mode.
Yeah.
You know, and he's massive. This dude is massive, and you know the Triple T is not a big vehicle.
The Soundwave one was I found a little bit the type of plastic they use. I feel some parts looked a little cheaper, to be honest.
Mm.
It felt more like those kind of knockoff
Yeah.
big transformers you can get from like I don't know where they sell them, but like the non-authentic, non-real transformers that you sometimes see or the cheaper plastic. It was a great figure, like I really love it. But when you compare it to the plastic of the original Thunder Machine, which I have, it just feels different, you know.
And no hollow bits.
That's
Yeah.
Right? The inside of the legs, are the tank treads, and even in the arms. Look at the arms they're rounded arms. You know, they got articulation, got a ratchet joint. They look pretty good. It's pretty solid figure.
Plus, they've incorporated.
Yeah.
In the back there, they've got that computer panel, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, right there, boom, and a little stand for Sarge down on and ride him into battle.
Look, they might be getting better at it. Like I remember the Megatron, people were kind of disappointed with the Megatron when it came out, and from what I remember, there were some pretty big gaps, right?
Right.
And then, yeah, if what you're showing us now with the Triple T is that's the way they're going, then it already looks like they've kind of decided to invest a bit more, and maybe they've gotten better at making these things.
I want them to keep going. I want them to keep making more. I don't want it to. You know, there's just something about combining these two properties that just makes me so happy that I would hate if the next one they go, this is the last one now, particularly because Super 7 are doing O-Ring G.I. Joe. But I think that they are getting better. I like the Megatron one. I think so far, personally, it's one of my favorite ones. Bumblebee being my least favorite because it's just so flimsy. I like the look of the Bumblebee one, don't get me wrong, but Soundwave I haven't messed around with yet. But those seat feet, so dumb. Don't run around on seats, idiot.
They're like tiptoeing through the
yeah.
The Bumble Striker. I mean the bot mode. The bot mode isn't that great, but the All Striker looks fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. They do the vehicles when they totally focus first. I feel on the G.I. Joe vehicles, and then they try to incorporate the bot after, which makes sense. I mean, if you're going to start with one side, which one are you going to start with? Obviously, the vehicles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Megatron.
I think they must.
I thought he looked really good. I mean, it's hard. Like you're taking an iconic Cobra vehicle that's not a very typical shape and one we've never obviously seen Megatron in, and then trying to incorporate him and also upping the size to 1/18 scale, which is for every kid from the 80s. That was like our dream, right? To combine G.I. Joe and
Right.
So yeah.
Well, at least it fixes the Transformers scale issue, that's for sure, because they're all scaled to G.I. Joe figures. If they did a flag, that would be cool. But I think the way that they use the fusion cannon just as an add-on top to the hiss, I thought was a great idea, rather than trying to figure out how to incorporate it into it or remove it entirely. I thought, great, pop it on the top, perfect. Sound waves, weapons look, close enough to his original weapons. I think that looks pretty cool. Bumblebee, he's using the Ore Striker gun as his gun. Well, that's fine. Bumblebee never really had a iconic weapon of choice anyway. They sort of give him a tiny blaster most times when he does come with one, but I think the Ore Striker weaponry is well suited. Cup having the side guns from the Triple T is a good idea, but I do kind of miss that musket that he has, that old style looking rifle that he uses.
Well, don't forget the little missiles. He has those too.
Oh, true. He is. Yeah,
They fit on the back as well.
Wicked.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to get mine in hand.
Like the Seekers, when they have like the lasers or like anything that like pops out, always looked cool for me for like Decepticons.
Hey, Joe fan.
Imagine this, like Starscream would have that massive like freaking minigun as his weapon coming off his arm. To mow down Autobots like crazy.
Do we think that the Sky Striker, now that we're looking at the Rattler, do we think that the Sky Striker would have enough pieces to be able to transform into an acceptable robot?
I mean, logically speaking, it's the closest thing in G.I. Joe. I don't think there's an F-15 in G.I. Joe, right? I think the closest we come is the F-14, and I think there's an F-16, right? The squirt gun one later on is an F-16, but that's a G.I. Joe vehicle. And my look on this is like, if you're gonna do Decepticon, they should be Decepticon vehicles, not Joes.
Yeah.
So like having a couple of Sky Strikers,
Cobra vehicles,
yeah, it doesn't. I mean, yeah, they could have. It doesn't work. I mean, yeah, obviously they could buy some secondhand F-14 Tomcats now, but
they did the. Did they do the Starscream, like, what was it, like more than 10 years ago, right? Where they
the
Gazz Striker and they made him into a Starscream, but they obviously didn't transform.
Right. So, there is precedence for it, but I do prefer that they keep Cobra vehicles with Decepticons and Autobot vehicles are G.I. Joe. Anyway, so final thoughts on this one. Do we think it could be done or should be done?
I think it's
as the Seekers.
I think it's a good idea.
I don't. The only thing I wouldn't want them to do, looking at the body shape, because again, the Ostriker I think has the kind of girth to do it, but like you wouldn't want the legs to kind of look too skinny, right, on Starscream, and if it transforms the way typical Seekers transform, that last part would probably be the back part would probably be where the legs would be. So they'd have to find a way to bulk it up a bit, I think.
Yeah.
I think they would do it in reverse and have the legs be the wider part and the arms maybe going up to be the back end and sort of split out that way and have a bit more around the chest and legs by using that area. But which Decepticon would be a Cobra Pogo? Again, maybe Rumble. Maybe the Insecticons. Oh, imagine that.
That'd be cool.
But
3 Insecticon Pogos.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Different Insecticons.
It'd be like a Pogo to Buzz. What's that Buzz one?
The Buzzsaw.
The Buzzsaw. Yeah.
And then there's one more. The Fang 2.
Oh yes, true.
A cool helicopter. I like that one.
So Starscream, I think, would be inevitable.
Yeah.
They might do Cyclonus because they did Cup, but if they weren't, and it would be sacrilege, but if they weren't going to make Starscream a jet, what other Cobra vehicles could he be, even if it's a ground vehicle?
A stun.
You know what? A stun would actually work, I reckon. A stun would work. I think that would look good.
So to make Starscream into a ground Cobra vehicle?
I mean, if they couldn't figure out the logistics of turning him into a Rattler or anything else.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the stun because it has those side pod guns and those arms and shoot. But I don't think it's a good idea to turn him into a ground vehicle.
I think a Stinger would be cool.
A Stinger would be cool.
Yeah. Oh, we also just forgot about the Sea Ray. I mean, that would be a good.
Oh yeah, true.
Cobra hydrofoil, right?
No, the
Yeah,
Sea-Ray,
yeah.
it's a no. They're flying sub vehicle that the back end detaches.
Oh yeah, right.
That might be a good idea as well.
But
Yeah,
now
Starscream could be a rattler.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on from Starscream and the Seekers. But like I said, they could just change off the chest and arm pieces and make it whoever they want. It's close enough.
That's all I need is to start collecting this scale of Seekers. Like, if you look at my collection back there, like, it's just Seekers. Like, I just have a whole panel of Seekers.
Nice. All right, so for the next one, Gaz, we all know that Grimlock is your favorite Transformer.
I don't think he needs an alt mode. He just stays a T-Rex, and you just put Duke on his back, and we're all good.
Yeah. So now I have an argument for you, and I want you to hear me out here. So he has the T-Rex mode, which he kind of, after Transformers the movie, he kind of stays in T-Rex mode after that. He doesn't really transform back.
Right?
But if you could be a T-Rex, why would you bother? Oh, there he is. So I've got an argument for you, Gaz, and let me paint the picture for you. Okay? My choice for Grimlock, and I may have mentioned this before, is the Warthog.
Yeah.
So if you could keep the Warthog design on there if you want, or they could be clever and try and make it look a little bit more like a T-Rex in the front. Yeah. And then have it transform so that you can do it halfway, and it sort of looks like he's got the front of the Warthog as like a T-Rex sort of mode. It wouldn't look very T-Rexy, but at least like an alternate mode other than Robot and Warthog, where you could sort of like have him sort of give the kind of appearance of a dinosaur. And for added, because we're already changing it into a Transformer and doing different things, add to it the ability to hinge at that mouthpiece and have him be able to open it up and in that capacity. I don't know how they would do that. I'm not a genius creator at Hasbro, but this is my pick for Grimlock. The Warthog, which is one of my favorite vehicles, not just because it comes with the Sarge, but partly because it comes with the Sarge.
I mean, you're kind of,
I'm a little biased, but this is a great toy, and if they could figure out a way to turn it into this guy, so good.
It's got that boxy kind of chest part, right? Like I could see them taking that part. I take your Warthog and raise you a Havoc.
Yes. Okay. I feel you. Why the Havoc?
Right? Similar idea, but longer. And then taking your idea and saying like the front. Imagine the front pulls out and becomes kind of like you said, like a dinosaur kind of thing as it's transforming. That could be cool.
I guess the hovercraft could be Swoop.
All right. So if I had to pick an alt mode, because we can't use the T-Rex, right? I like the Warthog. I'm sorry, but I don't like the Havoc.
No.
I don't like the Havoc. So I'm gonna up
the Havoc is part of Hedge Force, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like one of my least favorite vehicles. I'm gonna up you. I'm gonna up you. I'll raise you a Mauler. Because I think if he's gonna be a vehicle mode, and if it's not the Warthog, it has to be the Mauler. Because it's Grimlock, and he's just gonna drive through everything.
That makes sense.
True.
Yeah.
Imagine also having the option to add his twin cannons onto the Warthog as well. That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty bad. Instead of the missile rack, it'd be just that big cannon.
Or they take those missiles and you can combine
them
because it's double barrel kind of laser.
Yes. Yeah. So good. That's a cool idea.
So who does he come with?
Well, I mean, originally he did come with the Sarge. Here are some other options from the card art. So you've got Hardball, you've got Repeater, Hit and Run, Spearhead and Max, and that other guy who I'm spacing on at the moment, can't remember his name. Lightfoot, maybe?
Which one?
The one coming out, exiting last. Might be Lightfoot.
I think it is Lightfoot, yeah. It's the
Lightfoot. Yeah, right, yeah. They made a nice one. Yeah.
I guess honestly, I think the only Joe that Grimlock would probably even listen to is probably Sarge anyway, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
could really
Give
listen
me
to
another
anybody
Sarge.
else.
That's all right.
Yeah, maybe another version of Sarge.
Well, give him the Mad Marauders kind of
Yeah,
deco. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
yeah.
Ooh,
I think
that's
that's
giving me
the pick.
another idea.
And they save on the cost of making a new mold, right?
Yeah.
True. That is true. Yeah. And I guess if they did the Slaughters Marauders vehicles, they could be the first three Dinobots. So have Grimlock, was it
Oh,
Slag
yeah.
and Sludge?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be cool. Slaughter's Marauders
That would be
vehicles and
cool.
that deco.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's
Ooh.
a good idea.
But still,
Is that a force to be reckoned with? The Marauders with the Dinobots?
I reckon the Renegades would also go well. The Renegades and the
yeah.
Dinobots would be a good team up. That'd be
Yeah.
chaotic. Oh, so maybe then this could come with Lieutenant Falcon. Lieutenant Falcon and the Sarge on top of the Warthog, which is Grimlock. That's my pick.
I like that pick.
I like that too. Lieutenant Falcon was one of my favorite figures.
Yeah.
growing up. And I
Yeah,
hate that
it's
they
a
were
great
even
toy.
classified.
Right. Have you got the second version they brought out? It looks a little better.
I have. What I do is I end up buying all this stuff on pre-order and then get them in,
Yeah.
and then I keep them for the boys for like, special holidays or something, right? Any event. I have to make up some events because at this point we have so many just sitting in the closet. Like I have stacks of clothes, toys. Like I gotta show you a picture one day to both of you, and maybe I'll put it on my site one day too. So they're all there, and one of them is I just got in the Night Force Lieutenant Falcon, but when I open him, I don't know.
Man, they did Falcon dirty though. That head sculpt, considering how it looked when they first showed it off, which looked great.
Yeah.
And like I know a lot of talented people, sculptors, artists, and whatever, work hard on their stuff. And I would hate to, because I know that they all watch this show. Of course they do. But I would hate to offend somebody that worked hard. But there's no way that whoever sculpted it to look like that. Something happened between the sculpting phase and the molding phase that did something happen to it.
I agree. I don't know what would have made someone choose that face without something going wrong. Especially Lieutenant Falcon, because Lieutenant Falcon was like the pretty boy of, that series when he came out, right? And in the movie, wasn't it Don Johnson from Miami?
Yeah.
Right?
I was gonna say, after watching
go this other route, it had to be something must have happened along the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, after watching the movie, I mean, that's when I it's Don Johnson, right? It's Sonny Crockett.
Yeah. Well, there's Miami Vice Chuckles crossover. There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. So this was I thought would be a logical way to keep some kind of T-Rex mode. I'm all right with them changing the Warthog deco to make it look a little bit more like a T-Rex. I know that goes against what they've already done. If I start to make allowances now, then I guess they can just keep making allowances later. But
it's not that much of a change, though. I mean, you're going to call it Grimlock, right, instead of the Warthog. So it's not much of a change to put like a T-Rex decal on the front of it instead of a Warthog face, which I think it works.
Well, when you look at Cup's alt form, he does have the Autobot symbol prominent on the front of it, which does make it does differentiate it from the original Triple T. So I guess there is now precedence to add something different, whether it be an Autobot symbol or in this case a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah,
I think it looks enough.
The box art, I could totally see them taking like some cues from Grimlock's head and
take it.
Fixing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Yeah,
it'd
yeah.
just be like a wider version of it, right?
Yeah.
It'll look. I think it would look cool, honestly.
I think so too. Give it blue eyes.
Zaz, I think you got a winner. That's a winner. You
Thanks.
should.
Thanks.
You should send it. You should send it into Hasbro and be like, "This should be the next one."
And Zaz should design it.
Yeah, Zaz should.
Oh,
design
don't
it.
put that kind of pressure on me. I would definitely fuck it up.
It'll come in on some.
Screwed up face.
It'll come in on
Worse than Falcon.
It'll come in a sheet of math paper drawn in crayon.
Yeah, great. It's not to scale, guys. All right, and now we've gone through some of your favorite characters. I'm going to pick my favorite character. This one's going to be a little bit of an obvious choice, I think. But yeah, Crown Copy, send it in. Will do, Phil. All right, done. I think they'll take it more seriously if they think a kid did draw it, rather than an adult saying, "Oh, excuse me, please. I know what I want." Excuse me, mister. Can I have a Warthog Grimlock, please, sir? All right, so my favorite Autobot, Hound. And I think we all know where this is going. Mm-hmm. But there's precedence for this one too. So Hound was my favorite Autobot. He's Spotlight in the first 3 episodes of the Transformers G1 cartoon. More than meets the eye. I think he was well utilized there as the companion to Spike before Bumblebee took over. But he also helped with the construction of the Dinobots. He was, featured pretty heavy in there. I mean, obviously Wheeljack and Ratchet put them together, but he was there for the design phase. The hologram functions to him opens up a couple of different options. But maybe. But now that they've got the Ore Striker, they could do so much more with it. They can make an Eco one and make it Beachcomber. That would be cool too. His alt form is this vehicle, which I say Jeep. It probably isn't officially a Jeep, but I say it looks like a Jeep. At least some sort of military utility vehicle, which is, I think, pretty neat. Even as is, would make a great G.I. Joe vehicle. And I think we all know where I'm going to go for my pick. Imagine if I picked something goofy. It is, obviously, the... don't tell me, the Vamp. Now, listen to this. Right, as obvious as this is, once they figure out how to transform a Vamp, then you can start making Cobra characters too. And put on the side doors and... Looks like that's what I thought too. I don't know what it officially is.
I think it is a William.
Lilith wants tiny arms on the Warthog.
Coming up the side of the Warthog too.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying?
So the Stinger is the Cobra version, right?
Mm.
Now I think if you have this Transformers with the Stinger and what was the back thing that had the rocket, the rockets for
the Stinger had the
rockets. The Cobra.
The Cobra
one.
The Stinger. Yeah, the Stinger had the rockets. Oh yeah. The Tobal rocket launcher. It was the SMS. That was
right.
That was G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe had that. Came with Hawk.
So I think that you could definitely, if it came with... So did the Cobra one have the triple missile trailer thing as well, or was that just the Joe one?
Just Joe.
What did the Cobra ones have?
You mean
the pod that had the guns on it? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, okay.
And it could go vertical. Yeah.
You're not talking about this.
Yeah,
no,
that's what I was thinking of.
That came in G.I. Joe. That came with Hawk. The original one was green. It all came with Hawk.
Yeah, this they made for, I think, only for classified, right? They never had.
Yeah, that's a classified. They did it for the Hiss.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Cobra had that. Yeah, that wasn't the APC. No, what the hell is it called?
Yeah, the ASP maybe.
The ASP.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So if they had that with the ASP, I've gone off topic here for a minute, but you could have you could have a Cobra Bat. You could have your favorite guy. What's his name, Gaz? The guy who made the bats.
Dr. Mindbender.
No, The other guy that physically put the heads on
Oh,
them.
Scrap iron.
Scrap iron. So you can have scrap iron, and you can have a Cobra Bat with the stinger.
Yeah.
For this, for Hound, and then of course you can make the desert one colors and whatever, right? But if we're just going with Hound, hammer for Hound. Oh yeah, that's a good idea too. Scrap iron. Thank you, Joe Fan. He's the real Joe Fan around here.
There he is.
Gaz and I are notorious for forgetting the simplest things once we go live. It's
That's
true.
It's true.
So now, while the Vamp came with Clutch, and I'm all for another version of Clutch, I have an alternate idea. Being as how they already mix up the drivers anyway. I think that what they could do is have these two fellas, Spike and whoever this hologram guy was supposed to be. Make them. You can make the hologram guy clear if you want. My preferred one would be if he kind of looked like this color, the orangey look.
Why not? I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So have an O-ring Spike and hologram man, and if he came with a the ASP, thanks, the ASP, MMS missile system.
Thank you. Yeah.
But who do you? I think I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. I was going to sneeze, and then I did it. So that's my choice for who should come with Hound. Although nothing wrong with Clutch, or double Clutch as he's sometimes called. What do you guys think? Too easy? Too much of an easy win?
Well,
No, I think they would totally go that way.
I think that can you go back
Thanks,
one to the what Hound actually looks like? Go back to Hound. Yeah, I think you should just come out with that. Just do a little Jeep,
I would love that.
right? Because this is why. Because he doesn't need to change. He's a Jeep. He's already a military Jeep, so it works. Now
Right.
go back to the Vamp. Go back to the Vamp. So the Vamp is based off a real world vehicle, a Lamborghini SUV that they came out like in the early 80s.
Oh yes.
So I'm
yes.
saying it's a Lamborghini already. So we got Sideswipe, right? And then you can make another one. You can do the Mach 2, and that could be Sunscreen. Is it no? Is it Sunscreen?
Sunscreen. Yeah. Sunsafe.
Is that his name?
Sunstreaker.
Sunstreak. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Sunscreen. That's a new guy. That's the third brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do the
Slip,
two
slop,
brothers.
slap.
Sunstreaker, then I want him yellow. I want a yellow Jeep.
Yeah. Do it yellow. Do it
All right.
yellow and do it red. Why not? Just
Well,
do
they
that.
did a Tiger Force, didn't they? Tiger Force Vamp.
Oh yeah,
So you do
right.
Tiger Force Vamp as
That'd be good.
Sunstreaker. Yeah. And then you got the brothers.
And so you could do Sideswipe as the Fun School Racing Vamp. That was red.
Yeah, that was red. Yeah. I turned one of those into a crimson Vamp or a Stinger.
Oh yeah, nice. And then if you get the police vamp from Fun School, you can make that Prowl.
Yep. Well, let's just face it. I mean, if they were gonna do every Autobot every Decepticon, most of them are gonna be vamps, just different forms of vamps, right? There'll be like a pickup
Right.
truck version of it. Actually, there is a pickup truck, right? Isn't it the Badger? Is that the name of the Badger? That could be Trailblazer.
Yes, that is a cool
Right.
vehicle. That
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah,
Trailbreaker.
Trailbreaker could be
Trail-
a good one. That would be a good one, actually.
But yeah, I think they should just do the Willie's Jeep.
Hey.
How are you, G-Force?
The Willie's Jeep is
Uh,
would be perfect.
If you're just tuning in, Heroic Nonsense, the link is in the description. Hit that link right now and hit subscribe. You won't miss out on any of this garbage. But go hit subscribe to Heroic Nonsense and then come back. His channel's great.
So I would put with Hound as the Willie's Jeep. I would put for a driver could be Spike, right? The driver,
Mhm.
and then it should be Rock and Roll be manning the M60 that would be on like a turret between the seats, like the way they used to have it.
So I wonder
Yeah.
if the way around this is if they... Oh, cool. Thanks, buddy. Look at that. You just gained a guy.
Thank you.
You will not be disappointed. I think a way around this is if they don't make it the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover and just make it a a Hound that just happens to fit G.I. Joe, and then it doesn't step outside of what they're coming out with, which I think would be win-win. So,
So just
but you know what?
just a regular Jeep.
Yeah.
Right, so
a
just
regular Jeep.
have this alt form, and this would be the perfect reason for them to then also do the O-ring Spike and the hologram guy, so they don't have to add a G.I. Joe to it. They can just have an O-ring version of Spike and Sparkplug. Both of those together would be a good combo. So you're right, Gaz. This is why I keep you around. You're the brains of the outfit. And then do.
But the question is, do you think they'll really do that?
No.
I don't know. Like maybe that would be something for Super 7 to take a crack at. But I think that if they did do that, I mean, they got it because you got to get the license for this vehicle.
Yeah.
If it's a real world vehicle, you have to get the license for it. So therefore, it would have to be its own sort of category. But then they might be able to add some more things to it, like die-cast stuff. And then I don't know. Would it be?
There was a series of Transformers where they actually had them as real world vehicles, right? They actually had superimposed.
Final Tech and alternators.
That was a Jeep. And Hound was actually a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah,
he was.
So I don't see why they
had
couldn't do it.
what's his name from the Combaticon? Swindle was a yellow Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have all those guys. Half of them are still closed.
So I was getting alternators and Vinyl Tech when my kids were still very little, and I let them play with them because they're Transformers, and they just busted them up. They were so broken.
Half of my masterpieces have like parts that are glued back on at this point.
All right, yeah.
Well, just remember though. I mean, as I say that, they also did they did Hound in that what was that, like the one before Earth, when they had the animated series and they were still on Cybertron. Hound came out in that, and it kind of looked like a cross between a Hummer and a Jeep. So I mean, they could finagle a vehicle that kind of looks like a Jeep, but it's not a Jeep.
If they pivot on Masterpiece and start making them Joe scale, I reckon that would be another win. But yeah, Super 7. Let Super 7 do it. They can come up with... so this, I guess if you make it cartoony enough, it doesn't have to be the exact vehicle. So make it a little bit more stylized like it is in this picture. Put Spike in there.
That, right? Like all the cartoons had tiny wheels always, which showed me crazy.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Lilith. Don't forget to subscribe to Heroic Nonsense on your way out. I'd appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. We're going to have you on one of these shows.
Yeah.
One of these days. So now that I thought Vamp, which is still I think probably the most logical choice.
Yeah.
Now I'm on your side, Gaz. I'm like, nah, just bloody make it a proper thing. Put Spike and who else? Carly. You could have Carly in there. You could have Chip Chase. Who else were the human characters?
I think if they go with the Vamp, if they decide, okay, we got to make the Vamp, Hound is the right guy to do it. Yeah. I think he would probably be I think they would go Cobra next because they just came out the Triple T. It would probably be the Rattler, I'd say. Oh, actually, I don't know. There's Optimus. You said might be because the one that
Optimus.
Right? Yeah. So
well, it's at least.
And then I would think Hound would be right after that because it's too obvious not to do that.
Right.
Right. Like I think that would be the way they would go. But I like your idea too, guys. Like if they actually think outside the box and go that route, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but I mean they did that 2-pack. I think it was the one with Starscream, right? And Hound was a Vamp, right? In that.
Yeah. So that was
not transformable. Yeah.
It was Hound. It was Jetfire. You also had Blaster and the cassettes. I've got the Hound G.I. Joe Vamp still, and I use those cassette tapes and that Blaster as props in the SWC, but I don't have the Jetfire anymore. I must have sold it.
By the way, I love the SWC.
Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna have to.
Like, I can't, you know, tout it enough. Like, it's so good. It's so creative. Like, I don't know how you came up with that.
So I made this little comic called WWO, which was World Wrestling O-Ring, and I was just doing like just photos, and it's just crazy wrestling stuff because I wanted to just make an excuse to play with toys. And I was like, man, I wish I knew how to do stop motion because I'd love to animate this, but I don't have the patience for stop motion, and I don't have the skills for stop motion, and I'm lazy. Like, you can't spell Zazel without lazy. And it takes so much effort to do stop motion. And I love stop motion, don't get me wrong. Gaz, you and I both are a big fan of original stop motion. Just do it. So, Spoon Killer, if you haven't checked out the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship, you'll see what I do. It's what G.I. Joeberg call play motion. So I wanted an excuse to play with my toys because as an adult, my kids are older now as well, so it makes it harder. As an adult, it's hard to just justify playing with toys. And I was like, if I take photos, then I can play with my toys and it won't be weird. And then I was like, man, if I could do stop motion, I would do that. But then I found the G.I. Joeberg channel, and they were doing what was called play motion, where they are just mucking around on camera with their toys. I was like, well, I can do that.
That's what I do.
Right? That's what I'm already doing that. So yeah, so Spoon Killer, I don't like my hands either. But yeah, I don't have the patience. Gazz's hands, Gazz has got model hands. He's good for play motion.
What? No, look at these things.
You have to put it in that jar from what was that? The company had that. What movie was that?
That with the glass thing over it.
Yeah.
Was that what was that movie?
The Ben Stiller movie, was that the one?
Yeah.
He's a model.
One there?
Oh, was it Zoolander?
Zoolander. That's what you need.
You know what's funny is when I watch Joeberg,
True, Phil.
When I watch yours, if I don't even like Joe fan, you see the hands all the time. You even see them, but like when I'm watching their stuff, I'm just so into the story and stuff. I don't even see it. I don't see it. You know.
So with my play motion, as I record it, I can while I'm recording it. Oh, and by the way, Spoon Killer, I look forward to seeing a new stop motion. I'll have to have you on the show too to talk about stop motion stuff. You can give me the ins and outs on how you have the patience for it. I don't have the patience or the skill, but I appreciate the art form. I just cannot. All right, I'll hit you up, Spoon Killer. So I record it where, as much as I can, I don't have my hand in frame. But if I have to, then I'll crop it out. Because it's not that I have an issue with, say, the Joeberg stuff where they do, like the Joeberg guys are in camera sometimes, like full body in camera, yeah, like that. But that's not my story style. So I crop myself out as much as possible. But I also use things like chopsticks and blue tack or sticky tack, and oh, good, we're subbing all over the place. Don't forget to subscribe to Heroic Nonsense as well, Spoon Killer as well, JoeFan84 as well, all of these cool dudes. Phil, Treasures for Trigger, go subscribe to him too if you're not already.
I mean, our good friend and great human being Hans Chow does some stop motion as well, but he wears gloves to hide his hands, which is cool.
Right, so it's I think it's if you there are ways around it. But now here's the thing when it comes to play motion is that it's not as easy as it appears to be. It's a lot easier than stop motion, but it does take a certain amount of patience also. So for instance, if I'm trying to get the perfect shot, I can have my camera set to record and I could be 20 minutes in and go, all right, let's see what I've got. And then as I'm editing it down to how I want it to look, I might have 20 minutes recorded, but only maybe 2 seconds of usable stuff. Now that's okay if it looks good, but if I've spent 20 minutes holding my camera there trying to get something right and it's like, oh, it just doesn't work, and you got to do it again, that becomes frustrating. And I think that's why a lot of my episodes are now like, the last one I did was a few months ago now. The one before that was a whole year, right? And before that I was doing maybe I've done 6 now. I think I did the first 2 just a couple of months apart, and then it got longer and longer between shows. But I don't want to talk too much about my stuff. But I will hit you up so that you can jump on and do a voice if you're interested. I'm bringing Transformers into the universe now, so you could either voice a G.I. Joe or a Transformer or both.
Sure. Yeah,
Gazz,
I'm up for it.
oh brilliant! And Gazz voiced Snake Eyes for me in his first appearance, which was
That was hard.
Some of
man.
his-
Those lines are difficult.
some of his best work.
I recognized that silence. I knew it was you.
Yeah. Yes, that's another thing too. It's the changing and lighting that I tried to do stop motion when I first, and I was like, I couldn't get consistency. And I was like, no, too hard basket. And I know that's a cop out. I know it's a cop out. I know it's like you could just, if you really wanted to, you could work hard and achieve your goals. Nah, not me. Nah, that's not out. That's
It's funny you say that though, because like until I started doing YouTube videos, you don't realize how much work goes into whatever it is you're doing, whether it's something like I do or any of the stuff you guys do. It just anything else anyone else does. It actually takes a huge amount of effort and time. And like the biggest thing that surprised me about doing this stuff is that it is a huge time sink. Like it's I'm sure we all have regular jobs during the day and whatever. So I do my stuff at night when everyone's asleep, and it's another like 3 hours every night just to get, like you said, a couple of good shots here and there. You don't use so much of the stuff you recorded or even you wrote. It's amazing, actually. It's like you don't really realize until you get into it.
Speaking of amazing, I'm gonna just pull up an image from your Instagram, and you've got the Dinobots, and check out Heroic Nonsense on Instagram too. Dinobots going with Hot Rod there. That's obviously the scene where he's trying to get them into the shuttle, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah.
This classic scene of Swoop and that is Blue Streak.
Oh, I like Bruce Streak. I have the masterpiece version of him. He's cool. I think he's an underrated bot. To tell you the truth.
I think this is a comic panel.
I think that was from I don't remember now. That might have been from the cartoon also.
Oh, cool.
Who are they running over?
Shockwave.
Oh, it was Shockwave. Transformers the movie.
Oh man, he's wrecking the Dinobots. Get out of here.
So check out heroic.nonsense on Instagram as well. Go give them a follow.
See if I can pull it up.
I like the style of the, what are they called? What am I thinking of? The style of pictures. You use that filter to make it look a little bit.
Yeah, like the comic.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
It's a good mix. But I mean, they and believe it or not, Joe Fan, they look way better than just me showing them on my phone. They look way better if you're looking at it on your phone.
Yeah, those pictures are some of the ones that take me the longest to do. Like it's because you want to try to recreate it as best you can, but you don't have the whole surrounding either, so you kind of have to hide it a bit. And still, like the one where they're trying to, like you said, the one you weren't 100% sure, but you got the feel. The one where Hart was trying to bring in Grimlock onto the ship, right? From it, based on the overall look, that's it. But if you get it a little bit wrong, without the whole background and the context, it can be nothing, right? So
right, exactly.
I mean, then
there's a nuance to it.
Yeah. I love doing it. It's so much fun.
Is
ones that
it such
really have
heroic
comic
nonsense?
stuff, but
No. I couldn't have possibly made it more clear for you, buddy.
No, I'm not finding. Is that coming up?
Heroic.nonsense. Maybe I can share it to you guys. Copy link. What does this do? Here's the thing. Does this work? If people click on this thing, does that do a thing?
Yeah, if they put that in, it doesn't come up.
I've never actually even seen that.
Copy link. I'm gonna send it to Gazz. We are not technically savvy, so technologically rather. We don't. I've sent it to you, Gazz.
All right,
If you could add that to the.
will do.
This is so true. The key to taking a good picture is taking 299 bad ones.
No, 100%.
You're also on Facebook, but just like me, we're struggling with social media a bit, trying to found and followed. See, some people can get it. We are definitely not technobots. But you've got some.
Not be our moniker if we were Transformers. We would definitely not be the Technobots.
No, we would not be.
Like
struggle bots, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, we don't even have any good stories.
Yeah, Facebook is a whole beast, man. I cannot figure that one out yet. Like I'm starting.
I don't use,
but Facebook, wow, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, really, I'm no great at the social media part, like cross promotion. Like I will share. Like for instance, I shared this one to the Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse group, right? But I found that I don't even bother writing captions. I just like send. You'll look at it. You're either going to watch it or you're not. I'm not going to bother with the whole tagline. Yeah, you're either going to like it, but yeah, I don't know. I need to get better. I just like hanging out with good dudes, you know, good buddies. I think that's why I sort of put we do more live shows than I do reviews now on this channel. I think it's because I'd rather spend my time hanging out and talking about this stuff than sitting there by myself and taking pictures.
Yeah, I'm so happy across my channel because I was doing it in isolation, but it's so nice to see this whole kind of community that I feel like you guys have created a lot of, right? Like a lot of people, like all these different groups. I feel all connected because of you guys. So it's very cool.
Well, I appreciate you saying so. I think I just like to surround myself by people that are cool and cooler than me. Definitely more creative than me, because it helps me to feel motivated and it gets me challenged. And I'm already pretty challenged. But yeah, we just like hanging out. We definitely don't do it to be popular. No one's ever accused me of being popular. But toy hunting in Ruby Falls. Be close to a target. Go see if you can find any of that Super 7 stuff.
Actually,
what do you think of the?
Found them in Target.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yeah.
Which ones did you get?
Oh, there it is. I saw a pair of Cobra Commanders and a bat, and I picked up the bat.
Oh yeah.
Because I already have
Cobra
Commanders,
cool.
so I didn't want to get them. And they actually.
What about you, Ari? What are you thinking of those Super 7? I'm all in. What are you on it?
I can't get into another collectible.
You got enough going on?
I can't. Like it's already putting a sink in me because like classified is expensive. Classified is a lot, and there's a lot of troop builders. And I have 2 boys, so I try to get one each. You know, especially at least one each. And then Transformers, there's always something with Transformers. If I could, I would get more Transformers. Like I'd get those train ones from Takara, those masterpiece ones. Like there's so much, right? I can't start another one. And if 118 comes back out, the traditional 118 G.I. Joe, I think I don't know where I'll end up. I think I'll have to get a second mortgage because But I always see them in the store and I'd be like, wow, that's nice stuff.
Yes. Great picture.
I know I was,
Sarge had to turn around.
my backgrounds and stuff like that. So and like these different apps. I knew you'd like that one.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm gonna give you a secret. That background, you know what that is? It's a fry pan, not a fry pan. It's a bread pan.
Get out of here!
Okay.
Yeah, I see it. I
So
see
I took
it.
a picture of it, and I just started playing around with this AI. It's AI, but I don't really use the AI portion because you have to subscribe. So I'm like, I don't know that stuff yet. So, but it you can take a picture and it takes off the background and you can put whatever background you want. So I was like, I'm just gonna take the picture of this bread pan and use as my background.
That looks
clever.
so cool. Hang on, I'm gonna solo you for a second because that is cool. Hang on. Whoop.
That is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Wow. It's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So do check out Heroic Nonsense on YouTube. Not only are the reviews entertaining and offer some back and forth. What am I thinking? The interactiveness of your videos, I think, is really good. I like your history. Like, you add a little bit of history to it. You don't give away everything either. You're like, can you guess where this is from? Some of them are more obvious than others. Some of them are like, oh man, I feel like I know this, but I don't know where I know it from. So I stay silent on those ones.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I did really enjoy your. I think you said it was possibly a Takara or Takara Starscream. Was that right, or is it a?
Yeah, it was
G1 definitely.
Diaclone. It was the Diaclone Starscream, but it was only the Diaclone. It was a knockoff of the Diaclone Starscream.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that. Like we were talking about earlier, I remember my mom bringing that in to me. I was in my room, and she came back from shopping, I think with my aunts, and she brought me that one, and I forget another Transformer. And she asked me, which one would you like? I just got you one. And so I chose the Starscream one. It was the bigger one. And I had no idea, just getting into it. And up until like last week, 2 weeks ago, I was like, I don't even know what I have. And so I looked into it, and I was like, oh, maybe I had the original Diaclone. And it wasn't the original Diaclone. It was the knockoff of the Diaclone. But
that's still pretty cool.
Rare. That's like, I don't know how many people have that one. And it's in great quality. It's the same plastic metal as the toy. Like, it wasn't like cheap stuff they make now when they're knockoffs, some of them, right? Like, it's as good as like the real one. So
yeah.
I remember we used to get knockoffs of the Veritech fighters when I was a kid. We'd go down to like the mall, I guess it was called the Galleria, and it was like one of those like it's like a store where I guess you can kind of call it like a dollar store back then. It wasn't a dollar store though, and they had them. They had they were transformed in Veritech mode, the Veritech fighter mode, Valkyrie mode. And you're like looking at it, you're like, oh, that's from Robotech. And you buy them, and then you open up the box, and they were all hollow underneath, like where the top is. But they transformed. They transformed into the battle bots and stuff, and they were cool. But they were cheap as hell. Like after a few plays with it, like the arms would just fall off. They just snap off, and you're like, oh, you go down, and you spend another $5 and get another one.
Yeah, grab some more.
Yeah.
No, this one was like as good as like my other ones. I have the original Skywarp and Thundercracker, and
that's cool.
Same toy. It just doesn't have the Decepticon symbol on it.
Mm.
You can get stickers for that though, if you really wanted to. I mean, I guess if you're a robot in disguise, you probably wouldn't throw your Decepticon badge on there anyway, right?
Right. My Diaclone knockoff one is more realistic. It's more disguised.
Yeah, that's right.
Just wonder.
It's disguised as the real thing.
The real thing, right there.
Just thinking about this for a second, it's like, Cup, like looking at Cup, he's got an Autobot symbol on his shoulder, right? It's on his shoulder, right here. Mm-hmm. But it's also in his bot mode, his vehicle mode, right? But I'm wondering why they didn't use like the blacked out one,
rub
where you
sign.
the rubbed one, as opposed to just putting it blatantly right out in the open. as it's an Autobot. Wonder why they didn't do that.
I wonder if they'll
Extra.
incorporate that one day. I'm sure they will.
I hated the rub signs. I hated them because it's. I like the rub signs when it was battle beasts, right? If you didn't know if you're getting wood, fire, or water, and that's part of a game, right? It's part of a game with the battle beast. With the Transformers, unless you're rubbing the sign, you don't have the symbol on it. I like to have, and I know it's robots in disguise, so it makes sense to have a rub sign that disappears. I get that, but I like having that symbol just on there, so the allegiance is there. And I know I argue about it that it doesn't have to. That they're in disguise. It doesn't have to be the same form, but I just like to have I like that the cup Triple T has the Autobot symbol on the front of it.
Yeah,
It would have to be. I feel like with G.I. Joe, it would be less about being a disguise now, to just be you're just part of the ongoing war.
Yeah.
Between Cobra and Decepticons, they don't really have to hide their allegiance.
Speaking of symbols quickly, what I love is for Transformers when they do the alternate universe stuff and they have the Autobot symbols in the Decepticon colors and the Decepticon symbols.
Yeah.
I just love that kind of alternate universe stuff. Or when they change the symbol and they black it out and they make it more hidden kind of symbol. Like they just make it darker, kind of like on Sergeant Slaughter on the Mad Marauders when they just released where they have the American flag but in kind of black, right? I always love that stuff.
So this is the diorama background for JoeFan84. Do check out JoeFan84's channel too. Yeah, that's a really cool background. My phone's not so great, but you get the... Well, JoeFan, we'll have to have you on the show so we can get proper photos for you. We're actually lucky to have JoeFan with us. I just want to be serious for a moment. He's very recently went through a great struggle and was able to survive it. And here's a picture of him surviving that great struggle. And not only that, he survived it twice.
Man, and he wore a Cobra shirt, which that's pretty daring.
Right.
So let's get Spoon Killer on the show. Let's get JoeFan on the show. We'll get Phil on the show. We'll get Retro Tinker on the show. Let's just get it. Let's just have a big shoot the shit show, Gaz. What do you reckon?
Let's do it. I'm all for it.
Yes. We're gonna bring back Heroic Nonsense. Gaz, you can even come back.
I can come back?
Why not? We'll see if Michael Mercy wants to join us. We got Adam. How many spots? How many spots are on StreamYard?
I'm not sure. You have controls. I think Oz gets like 12, like 10 people on. I think he gets like 10 on.
Perfect. Great. We'll find eight more people.
So I have a question.
Yeah, an extravaganza.
I have a question. It's not pertaining to Transformers. Okay.
Okay.
This is for people in the chat too. All right. I want you to tell me the first thing that pops into your mind. This is what we do here on STS. First thing that pops in your mind. Okay. Now for this specific one, because we've been talking about G.I. Joe and Transformers, you got to remove Transformers and G.I. Joe from your mind. All right.
Gone.
So let's just say non-cartoon. This is non-cartoon question. All right. I want you to tell me the first thing that pops in your mind when I say TV show jingle, theme song. Go.
Oh,
I know.
Well,
first thing that pops in your mind.
Mask.
Family Ties. Mask was great too. For some reason, I had Family Ties pop into my head.
Family Ties. Okay, Mask is a cartoon. Mask is a cartoon show. You got to go again.
Oh, it can't be a cartoon show?
No cartoon show.
Okay. I have two. 18 or Dukes of Hazzard.
18 popped in there.
Both great.
We got MacGyver in the chat. We got Magnum.
That's a good one.
I was just thinking.
I don't know why Family Ties popped in my head. I don't know why.
I asked my work colleague, and he watches like he went one of his classes in college was like media, like watching movies and stuff like that. So he's on that. So I asked him that question. You know what he said? Jeopardy.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Like if you watch a lot of Jeopardy, that would be the first thing that popped into your head.
That's
Knight Rider is a good one.
Yeah.
Even the Golden Girls had a great intro.
You see Dragon Ball, the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Actually, I forget how does the Cosby Show go now?
I think it's like a jazzy opening, right?
Oh yeah, right. I remember now.
What about
Yeah.
yeah. I love the Cosby Show. It's a shame we can't enjoy it now.
Never gonna be on.
Pudding Pops. But I liked what was it, Fat Albert Show?
Fat Albert. I was just gonna say Fat Albert.
Mm.
Oh, the 80s.
Only remember the intro.
These were the best.
Yeah, Smurfs had a great intro.
More 70s, right? Late 70s, I guess. Fat Albert.
What, Fat Albert? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah, like
70s.
the
Yeah.
70s.
Other TV shows though that are good jingles. Mask was pretty good. Not Mask, sorry, MASH.
Right.
MASH, yeah. Had that like cool
MASH was
bass.
pretty good.
You know, Barney Miller. Have you ever seen that show,
Yeah.
Barney Miller? It had like that nice little bass opening. Was pretty cool.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Gazz.
No, you go. Go.
No, just you to bring back memories too, because I remember Friday night, like we used to go to our like I said, our country place in the States, and we get there and we watch. I remember it used to be A-Team, Dukes of Hazzard,
Yeah.
and then like MacGyver, I think, was on right after that, like those shows. You know, and then they started to come up with the other versions of whatever. So Knight Rider. Knight Rider was always on also at the same time. Oh man, those were the best. Friday
Those
nights.
theme songs. You know it the minute you heard it. Like, oh, here it comes. Chips.
Well,
Chips
I
is
was only just introduced to the Littlest Hobo last year at Joe Fest. That's a great. I get that song stuck in my head nearly every day now. Whenever I'm at work, I just sort of like it'll hit me. That little whistle intro, and then yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song.
They're singing Fat Albert in the chat.
Yeah. I used to really enjoy the records for Bill Cosby. I used to also enjoy the records for Cheech and Chong. Oh, those got me as a kid.
Yeah.
They're just so funny. So inappropriate, but funny.
Speaking of shows, do you remember V?
Yes.
Yeah, V. Yeah, that's a good
great.
Mark Singer.
That was great.
Mm.
What was the guy who played Ham? What was his name?
Donovan, I remember
Even-
as a character.
Yeah, Donovan. That was Mark Singer. Yeah,
That
Donovan.
was, yeah.
Julie was
Julie.
the girl.
And
Ham
then
was the mercenary. Yeah,
What was his name?
Ham was the mercenary.
Right. Oh yeah.
I forget what his name was. I forget. Michael Ironside. That's it.
Ironside.
Yeah.
Them freaking lizards that like they want to eat us and shit. That's crazy.
Great show. I don't remember if it had a theme song though.
No, it was like quiet
Mm.
and it had like this intense tone, and it just like as the screen would go back and you would
Right.
see the letter V, it would
Right.
get
Yeah.
louder. Yeah. Such a great.
That had
great
Freddy
show.
Krueger in it too, didn't it? What's his name? Robert Englund was in V?
Yeah. Apparently, he may be
Um,
coming back to play Freddy Krueger.
Is it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw it. If he does come back, that'd be great. But I just saw an interview. I don't know when he did it, but he was saying that if they pass the torch again, that he'd like to play like an older character, like a doctor or something that don't believe the kids that there's a dream demon.
I see
Yes.
that. I saw an article that said there was a condition, then he would come back if they met that condition.
Mm. Perfect.
Maybe
I would love him to come back.
Yeah, he
Some of
was the
those
best
old-
at that was my first horror movie stuff. Was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Same.
first
My friends and I. The first one's great. Second one's a hard watch. Third and fourth one are almost perfect movies. Fifth one's very good. Sixth one was probably the first time I was ever able to like rent. I didn't see it at the cinema, but I think Freddy's Dead was the sixth one. That's the first one I was actually able to rent and buy for my own collection. Other than that, I was getting a copy from my friends. But my friends and I, we were huge Freddy fans. We would stay up late and watch the late night Freddy show that when they had that TV show. Some of those episodes are okay, but they're not all good. But for a school project, we took the song "Coma" from Guns N' Roses and
Right.
put in all of these clips from all the Freddy movies that were out to date. And it required 2 VCRs and a lot of patience to put this music video together of all the Freddy stuff. My teacher was not impressed, but the kids loved it. It's prime time, bitch. So good.
Oh, does that video still exist?
You should be Freddy.
No. Just light me on fire. I've got this. I'll be a chubby Freddy, but no. But one of the scenes that we did that I thought was pretty good, if I do say so myself, was where there's this heartbeat in the song "Coma," and that heartbeat we managed to sync up with this like the exposed chest scene where you can see Freddy's heart beating, and I was like, oh yeah, if nothing else worked, we at least got that. But yeah, Freddy was my guy. Freddy was my guy.
And your teacher wasn't impressed at all that you did that on 2 VCRs, that you spliced it all
was
together.
Pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
It's inappropriate. It was inappropriate for the age group.
Guns N' Roses and Open Beating Heart probably weren't.
Yeah.
appropriate,
Yeah. But yeah, if he came back, I even enjoyed Freddy versus Jason. Now, I was talking about this with my wife the other day, and how as a teenager we anticipated the Freddy versus Jason meetup, because at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy's glove comes up and pulls down his mask and brings him down to hell. We're like, oh man, they're gonna do a crossover. And then what? I might have been in my 30s, maybe, when Jason versus Freddy came out. What year did it come out? I Google it.
Man, I just
Either
feel
way.
bad for all the teenagers in that movie.
In every single one of them. Yeah.
It doesn't pay a teenager,
No.
especially in that one where you got two. Like,
Great
just
great
coming at
concept for a movie. It was 2003 Freddy vs. Jason, so I was only 23. Okay. I thought it was later than that.
I like the Halloween movies. I think because they were more. I'm not gonna say realistic, but more. It's. I don't know. He's not like a zombie. He's just like he just comes alive because he's like reincarnation of hell, right? Comes alive to seek out his sympathy.
Mike Myers as a horror, I never really got behind him. Michael Myers? Mike Myers was Mike Myers was the comedian. Michael Myers.
not the comedian.
Yeah, not the actor. Yeah. Groovy baby, yeah. But I didn't really get behind them. I thought the first one was okay, but I couldn't really get into it. Same with Hellraiser. I liked the first Hellraiser movie, but after that it got a bit odd. I later found out that a bunch of those Hellraiser movies weren't supposed to be Hellraiser movies. They just rebranded it as Hellraiser. So, oh well, that makes sense. But Freddy, Chucky,
Hellraiser, but they never. Yeah, I always wanted to get into Hellraiser, but I feel like they could have done a lot more with it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Pinhead as the main guy. He's no, Jason. He's no Michael Myers. He's no Freddy. You know what I mean? He's just a dude with a bunch of pins in his head. From hell.
True. You can see that.
Right?
You go down to the city, you can see that.
Yeah, you see that anywhere now. Now, for some reason I just like the Halloween series better than the rest. I think because like you get, with Jason, it's like the high body count, right? It's the high body count. It's like every teenager at the camp is going down. Everyone, it doesn't matter who they are. And Freddy, it's just that whatever group that the main character is around, all of them are gonna die. So you're
Freddy had who's in the first Freddy? What's his name?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Thank you. Jason had Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think who famous wise was in the other ones. Like, I can't think of anyone famous from the Leatherneck series. Was that what's the not Leatherneck, Leatherface? What's the Chainsaw Massacre?
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, yeah.
Yeah.
I know the remake had what's his name, the Marine Corps guy in it. Marine Sergeant. I forget his name. You see the
Oh
male
yeah, I know who you're talking
show.
about.
He was in
Yeah.
yeah.
I just rewatched last night and the night before Alien versus Predator and Alien versus Predator. I think it's called Requiem, maybe.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I thought that I wasn't going to enjoy them. I knew I'd seen them before, but I couldn't really remember them. I didn't think I was going to enjoy them. I thoroughly enjoyed them. I thought they were pretty good. Not great, but they were pretty good. And I preferred, again, it was a shocker for me. I preferred the first one over the second one. The second one's way too dark. I couldn't
It's
see
the one
what
where
was
they
going
go when they go to Antarctica. They discover that
on.
temple.
The first one,
That's a
yeah.
good one. Yeah,
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
because the other
But
one
I
takes place in
do,
a small town, right? The
yeah.
other one
So
takes place
that,
in a small town, right? Yeah.
yeah, and it's not a bad movie. Good. It's a good premise, but the have you guys seen it?
Hmm.
I saw it years ago. I don't remember it, to be honest. I remember parts of it.
All right. Well, I hate to spoil a movie for you, so
don't
stop me. Cool. So at the end of Alien versus Predator, you find out that the Predator has an alien within him, right? And then the alien bursts out of this Predator chest, and then it cuts to end credits. So then the second one opens with that same sort of shot where they're on a spaceship, and the thing bursts out of his chest, and then the spaceship crashes back down onto Earth, and now you've got a hybrid alien Predator that they got to deal with, which is a great idea. I just don't think that they really utilized it to the best of its ability. But I still thought that it was pretty good.
Well, I think the
I
whole
liked
idea, like any of those crossovers are great. Like I think they could do tons with that, and I'm surprised
Yeah.
they haven't done more.
I mean, it's
Right.
it's screaming for Alien versus Predator versus Terminator because they did that in the comics.
Yes.
Can you imagine like a cross between like an alien and like a mechanical kind of like cyborg Terminator kind of thing?
Because there's enough there, I reckon, from a T1000. No, T800. I think there's enough from a T800 as far as flesh, because it's living tissue.
Right.
No, it's only living tissue on the outside. Underneath is a cyborg robot.
Right, but they're only incubating. They're only incubating inside.
So there's nothing.
Right.
There's nothing for it to incubate with because it's a robot. There's no. I don't think there's any human organs in it. It's just a flesh.
But I'm sure they could like by the fact that there is some organic material on the Terminator, like I'm sure they could come over the way of like
maybe
the DNA kind of mixing in and then
Mm.
you know, it's sci-fi,
or Skynet just creates a robotic version of an alien.
Or what if, because the exoskeleton can have living tissue on it, what if it does the other way around and absorbs the alien part of it instead of the other way around, and then it sort of utilizes some of the alien's living tissue over that exoskeleton?
I think with the acid that the aliens, it would be a threat to the the Terminators. It'll melt their exoskeletons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just watching a Predator go up against a Terminator would be crazy cool. Crazy cool.
And you get to see Arnold against a Predator again.
That'd be pretty cool.
That's a good question. Do you think we're ever going to see Arnold in a movie again like that?
I hope so.
I would love one last go around with Predator, but this time go get Sly and have him play Rambo. It'd be Rambo and Dutch versus
Yes.
Predator. I would love that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see Old Man Dutch. So one of the things that happens in Alien versus Predator 2 is that the Predator goes around, because there's aliens running amok. The Predator goes around and starts getting rid of the evidence of aliens existing. Like he melts down all the evidence, and all the people with their chest bursts open, he starts melting them down with the special acid stuff. So nobody knows what's happening in this town because he keeps getting rid of all the evidence. And I think that would be great if we could see an Old Man Dutch. It's like no one believes him that this Predator came out and decimated this town. They could AI it, but I reckon he can still do it. It's just Old Man Dutch. Old Man Dutch trying to...
We could set the premise completely. Small town is an alien outbreak. Predators there cleaning it up, right? Cleaning up. Dutch is the crazy old kook that lives on the mountain, side, right? He lives in the cabin in the woods that's been screaming about aliens. Nobody believes him. Finally comes across it, right? And then Rambo's just walking into town. Like, he left his house because it blew up.
Yeah.
He's just walking.
Well, you know what this means?
What if
to me?
Rambo?
I think it's time we now make a production company.
Let's
Right?
do it.
Yes.
Like, there's all this IP out there that obviously no one's using properly, and we have all these great ideas. I say we
Could probably pitch. We could probably pitch that to
Done.
Stallone and be like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah. What if Rambo is the sheriff of this town? Now he's in the sheriff role.
Ooh.
And Arnold is like the grizzled veteran now, who just wants to go through town. And he's like, hang on a minute, we've been through this.
First Blood with Predator. I love it. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, green blood.
I just watched that the other day. It's free on
First
YouTube,
Blood.
Gary. Yeah, again.
I haven't seen Last Blood. Have you seen Last Blood?
Yeah, I have.
I haven't seen Last Blood yet. I've seen everything up until Last Blood.
Yeah, it's just Rambo versus the cartel.
Oh, that seems a bit weird.
And he's been on the spoiler alert. He's on his ranch, and he's pretty much set it up for like war. He's got tunnels under his land everywhere. It's nuts.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's all right. It's a good popcorn movie.
Mate, I feel you. I feel you, Joe fan. So I think for your first play motion, then, Ari, is that you might have to put together a old man Grimlock in this same scenario.
Okay.
If you,
Old man.
yeah. Old man Grimlock.
Don't be surprised you won't see it.
Team up with Cup.
Old man Grimlock and Old man Cup.
I'm gonna start a whole new series like your wrestling one.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have this. Cup and Grimlock.
Yeah. Telling each other old war stories. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then and then the play motion could just be like that war story with a young Cup and young Grimlock.
Ooh, that would be cool. All right, we got a production company. We got ideas. We got stories. We're going to handball to heroic nonsense to do all the hard work and start putting in. Now I say play motion. See, that it will be play motion, but we can also say, like when we give it to Hollywood, that this is the storyboards, animatics for it.
Yeah, we went beyond it out. Here's the actual, video.
Gazz, we've only gone and sold out again. We've gone Hollywood again.
Yes,
Dang
we
it.
have. Yeah,
We've gone Hollywood.
$700 million, and we're going to come up with a fancy ass play motion.
That's right. We'll give you $7. You get 7 and you'll like it.
You just need a GoPro and we're all set.
That's good stuff. So what have you got? What have you got coming up for one of your next videos, then, Ari?
Yeah, the next one I was actually gonna put it out yesterday, but I was too tired. So
yeah, fair enough. I feel you, buddy. I'm right there with you.
I had like one last part. I was, anyways. But yeah, it's gonna be the new Straxus figure.
Ooh, yes.
Which is a cool one because to be honest, I didn't even really remember him as a character. I have all the old comic books. Honestly, I have everything. So I have the comic books, and I don't remember him much. But I was like, this is a cool figure, and I think it'd be a cool one for the kids, but also a cool one to review and display. Weird looking at first, like his mask he just stands out, right? He's just one of those figures that I don't know. But once you have him in person, it's a really great figure. And I love that mold. I love Galvatron and all those guys. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one. That one's going to be out next week. And then I'll probably do another G.I. Joe. I have some more vehicles we haven't opened, so I'll find an excuse to give it to the boys as a present. Happy tie your shoe day. I don't know.
Wow, you tied your shoes all by yourself. Here's an expensive toy. You've earned it.
Yo.
You'll start seeing all your shoes tied.
I'll be taking that. So that's the next one after that. I'm looking forward to doing the new Optimus. That's going to be an awesome one. I haven't done it yet. I know he's out there, but I don't remember who I pre-ordered him from. It might be either HasLab or not HasLab, Hasbro Pulse, or I don't know, somewhere else. But mine's only coming in November, so that's going to be a good one. I have a whole bunch coming in, so I'm excited. Lots of good stuff.
I have a question. See, we got a expert here, Transformers expert. The black Optimus Prime with the red. Yeah. Who is that? Is that Optimus or is that another character?
The one up there?
No. I don't know if you have them, but he's like a black Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Nemesis Prime.
Is that Optimus or is that a different?
No, it's a different character. It's I don't know if it was ever in I don't think they ever really had it in the original. Maybe someone in the chat knows, but I don't think it was ever in the comics or anything like that. Here, let me pull him down.
Have you seen him? Have you seen him, Zazel? He is freaking cool.
Yeah. I remember there being a black version of Optimus Prime in the Armada series, maybe? Yeah, he does look cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love this. He's trying to the ultimate universe.
Yeah. That is cool. I like that.
Yeah, I love, honestly, any Transformers or G.I. Joe that comes in a different color of the same character, I'll get. Like,
I like.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
the alternate universe. Before I forget, the alternate universe Soundwave. That's a Autobot. He's got like a headband, like he's a surfer dude or something.
I was gonna say, I want to get that one, rename him, and call him. I want to call him the Rubber Duck.
Yes.
Oh
yeah,
my
that
God,
guy looks cool.
And this Starscream.
Oh, that's cool.
Hang on, solo layout. Whoop.
Oh,
he looks cool.
Bring up that Shockwave again. This is the one with the headband?
Soundwave.
Oh, sorry, Soundwave. Shockwave's the gun, that's right. Why does he have a headband? That is cool. Why does he got a headband?
Went all out on that.
He listens to Jazzercise.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, he's got Olivia Newton-John on there, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Let's get physical. I want to get. I don't have it available here. I'm going to try and trace one down when I get to Joe Fest. But there's a Target. I think it's Optimus Prime, maybe, and it comes with a cassette tape. That's like a repaint of Ravage, and it's a white puppy cassette tape. Oh, it just looks so cool.
It's it's the dog from Target with the red bullseye on the. Yeah,
I always thought Ravage was a dog. I didn't know he was like it's like a cougar, right?
No, he's a jaguar.
He's a jaguar. I always thought he was a dog.
This one was a USB.
Oh, that is cool.
So it actually works.
Oops, solid.
It actually works.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's
it looks
crazy.
good.
I like that.
And they made him look really great. But
all right, so who's your favorite tape bot?
I think it's Ravage. I always like Ravage. Yeah.
I like Frenzy.
Yeah.
Frenzy's cool.
Laserbeak was always cool.
Yeah.
Buzzsaw never got.
I like Steeljaw and Ramhorn. In the cartoon, they were able to talk, which I thought was pretty cool. But Ramhorn, as a cassette bot, he looked the G1. Oh, it just looks so good. Such a great cassette.
Yeah,
Overkill I thought was cool too.
Which one?
Blast. Overkill. I think it was Overkill. Was he the Tyrannosaurus Rex tape?
Right.
Was it T-Rex tape?
Yeah. Yeah, there is. Google it. Get to the Google.
Did you hear that, Grimlock?
It's funny. I never had any of the Autobot cassettes growing up. I only had the Decepticon ones.
They're so good. They also had a Stegosaurus cassette tape that came with for Soundwave. Yeah. Scales all over the place. Yeah, G.I. Joe fixed the scale issue, mate. So if you get the Transformers in the G.I. Joe universe, then the scale is fixed. Don't worry about it. Scale is fixed. I almost, because Hound's my favorite, I almost got the 5-pack. I didn't do it. I almost got the 5-pack of Autobots. But I knew if I got the 5-pack of Autobots, then I'd have to get the new Prime. I got.
What?
I did get the recent Bumblebee, but I knew it was going to be a rabbit hole that I wasn't going to be able to get myself out of. So I've held off.
I'll get that new Optimus.
It looks good. Hang on a sec. Solo.
It's a little baby
How
T-Rex.
cool is that? Yeah.
Look at that. look, Grimlock. Look at that. Isn't that crazy?
There's a play motion waiting to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely incorporating more Transformers stuff. Like Megatron just made a cameo in the last episode of the SWC. I have to have Cup in there, obviously, now that he's a Triple T. And Blaster has been around since, I think, episode 1, just in the background. So I'll either get you to voice an Autobot or a Decepticon or a G.I. Joe. Is there any G.I. Joe that stands out as a particular favorite of yours?
My favorite G.I. Joe is always, I think, I love Cobra, first of all. I always love the Cobra side. And there's so many cool ones, especially all the Vipers. I always loved, I love the original Viper. Like, that was, you know, and then they started making the Alley Viper and the Range Viper, all these Vipers. I love that. And I love the Cobra officers and soldiers. I always love those guys. But I think if I had to choose one, and a Firefly was always awesome too. But if I had to choose one, I think it would be Storm Shadow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do like Storm Shadow. I've got the Storm Shadow that came with Snake Eyes recently, the re-release O-Ring. So if I introduce Storm Shadow, you can voice Storm Shadow for us. He'd have to go up against Snake Eyes for sure, right?
Well, we know who can do the voice for Snake Eyes, so no problem.
Yeah, exactly. We've got the guy. We got the guy. He's already done it.
I'll have to work out.
Well,
records,
the next episode takes place in Japan because it's going to be Ryu versus E Honda. So that's probably the best place to start to introduce Storm Shadow. So
all right.
Be prepared. I'll hit you up.
I'm ready.
Good stuff. All right, fellas. I guess we'll leave it there. I'm gonna sort out some lunch. Now, I did a bad thing, and I left the dishes last night after dinner. And now I'm going to do them today. Now I'm going to do them today.
Why don't you do
Spoon Killer's Beachhead.
on that, you doing the dishes?
Yeah. Usually I put on TJC streams. Terry, he does his gaming streams. I put on his stuff. Yeah, I could do. The new play motion is just me washing dishes.
Exactly.
Riveting stuff.
I can't do that because if I'm doing that, then I'm end up watching it, and I'm not washing and not cleaning the dishes.
It takes me twice as long to do them.
Yeah. So usually I'll put on like Joburg when they're just chatting about stuff or like something like this.
All right. So next week is going to be my last STS for a little while because I'm going away for 4 weeks, so I won't be able to do any live streams. So I'm thinking next week being the last one before we go on a short hiatus. What if we get some of these guys together, like Joe Fan, Spoon Killer, bring back Heroic Nonsense, grab Phil and the rest of the boys, and we'll do a great extravaganza STS. Any topic is on. Just literal STS it. If you're free next week,
bring your sunglasses because we're going
Saturday or Sunday, Saturday night.
Bring them.
Yeah.
We're all going Hollywood.
That's it. We're back. Sellouts. That's what I'm.
Shameless plugs.
Yeah. And bring your delicious Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Hang on.
Heck, if you drink Pepsi, bring that too.
Yeah, we don't care. Whatever.
Whatever you want, man.
But we're selling out.
Whoever pays the big bucks.
Oh, we got Spoon Killer.
Yeah, you can definitely use your phone. I've done it before. Remember, there was one time I had to use my phone because the internet died. Spoon Killer's in. That's right, Ruby Falls. All right, well, send us something from Ruby Falls and we'll play it live. But we'll definitely have you on the show anyway, buddy. We'll get you on there, and we'll definitely have We'll definitely have Arya back. I don't know why I said it that way. We'll have we'll have Arya back.
From Game of Thrones area.
Yeah. So this was a fun hangout. We're gonna be back and in greater numbers next week. Yeah, send a video from the vault. Perfect. All right, we'll make it work. We'll make it work, buddy.
Enjoyed hanging with you guys.
Oh yeah, it was just fun. And while I'm away, I will be picking up the Vegemite to send. Sending some Vegemite to. Yeah, I promised I would, and I'm going to do it. I just don't have the capacity. Well, I mean, if you want some,
No. You can bring
it's
some.
up to you.
What,
I'll bring some. All right.
Roncon.
Oh, whereabouts in Canada are you? Are
Ontario.
you near Roncon?
Near where?
Where is
Roncon's gonna be around. I think the Toronto area. I think that's where Adam is. Right?
Toronto? Yeah.
Why are you coming out this way?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So if you can make it to RonCon, we'll give you the details after the show. That'll be cool. It'll be June of next year. Are you going to Joe Fest?
No.
Well, we might change your mind.
I haven't had anyone to really go with, so I haven't.
We might change your mind.
Okay.
Hello. All right. With that, we're going to go and play the outro, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks, buddy. Link in the description for Heroic Nonsense. Go subscribe. If you're not doing anything right now, go watch a video. It's good stuff. You'll love it. In fact,
Check it out one time, won't you?
and hit that subscribe button. All right, we are out of here.